Would you like water?
I know, well, I was joking.
If we could call this meeting to order, Matt, would you take the roll, please?
Mike Birch.
Here.
I am here. Brent Cranford.
Here.
Jennifer Kraus.
Here.
Here.
Don Newman.
Here.
Okay, thank you. First up, I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. If we could please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first up will be citizens agenda, opportunity for community and staff input on agenda items. All right, hearing none, we'll move on to informational discussion items. Dr. Allison.
We'll begin with Dr. Pulliam this evening since Mr. Sell ran out on him, but we'll begin with the pretty sneaky. Yes, but we will begin with the Mossville back to school kind of update. I was just kidding.
Anybody else like water?
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you got?
Thank you.
Time for a back to school.
All right, excellent. All right, well, first off, thank you for coming. Appreciate you coming down to Mossville School and seeing what's going on here. I did put in front of your seat a strategic plan. The two things I did put in there was our attendance plan, which we put a lot of emphasis in, a lot of conversations at our district meetings about some things that we need to be doing a little bit differently down here. And so we're making sure we're making those changes and improving that so you can see what we're doing. Not everything is implemented yet as you go through that, but that's kind of our long-term plan to get all of those things in place this year and next year. Especially the incentives are the things that we're more talking about building those in. The second thing I put in there was just a reminder of what we're doing for our new families to welcome them into our school and community. So those are the two strategic plan pieces that are in there. Dr. Pulliam will speak a little bit about our SEL, which we've been working on for quite a while now as a school. But first, just want to start. We've had a great school year so far. It started with our backpack night to last evening, Wild Night at the Zoo, which was our family fall educational night. Our staff did a really nice job. We moved away from a curriculum night, a traditional curriculum night where they went in, sat, listened to the teacher, talk about what they're doing, and turned it into more of a reading night for grades pre-K through 5. 6th grade, since it's a transition to junior high, they still do a more traditional program. And then 7 and 8 this year, we made sure that they got involved and they created STEM games where the students could take on their parents in those STEM games. And it was for all ages. So our staff did a really nice job last night with the zoo theme. Every classroom you went into, it was animal related. And we had a really good crowd, I'd say. For a Monday night in September with all the activities, we were pretty close to 150 people walking through the doors. And that was a real positive considering 2-3 years ago, we were looking at maybe 50 people coming through the doors for a traditional evening. So this is bringing more in because there are things for them to do together instead of just sitting and getting. So we're really happy with it and continuing to look to build on that in the future. A couple things, Parent Square, thank you for adding that to our district. It has been a great tool. As I look at our data, just the amount of communication coming through our teachers, I think has increased because it is a very easy tool to use. Parents, the feedback that I'm getting from them is it is nice to have that one location. It's more of the figuring out the program, and as they work with it more and more, it becomes easier and easier, especially when you're navigating from high school to junior high. But being in one place, it's a really nice thing, and then all the coaches using it as well. It's that one-stop shop that everyone does appreciate. So thank you for doing that. Another big thing that's an addition to our school that was a pleasant surprise in the spring was our inclusive playgrounds that are being built. And if you drive around back, as you leave tonight, you'll see the 2 playgrounds. The construction of the equipment's already done, as well as the concrete edging and pathway. And I have not seen our kids K through 8 more excited about new equipment going in. was kind of wild, 14-year-old boy asking, can we play on those? You normally don't expect that, but the kids are all excited about it. I'm most excited because this will be the first time since I've been here, and probably before, we'll have a dedicated pre-K playground that is safe and outside. We're currently using the courtyard area, which is fine, but we'll now have them out back with their peers. They'll have a fence for them and space to run, and we're really excited about that. And the teachers are as well, so that they can start assimilating to that school environment, seeing how the other kids play, and just being a part of the school community. So thank you for doing that. Thanks for getting that grant, Mr. Buzzard. I don't know what work, but you're the one that came to me, so thanks for doing that. Strategic plan for this school year, the big focus is on our MTSS process. And so we're looking at the overall process, our personnel and resources. I think Dr. Pulliam and I spent a lot of time this summer, and I think this possibly was one of the best summers I've had for that transition year, looking ahead. We spent a lot of time reflecting on what we are doing and asking a lot of why questions, and then also having other individuals in the district asking those questions as well, so we can make sure that we are doing things hopefully the right way, and if we're not, reassessing how we need to do things differently. Also financially, as times are changing, as federal money's changing with title funds, we've got to make sure the money that we have is being used effectively. And so that's where, with our MTSS program, making sure that we're using our resources there properly, whether it's using 4-aids, making sure that we're getting all kids served, K through 8, properly. So we're really excited about what has been going on and the feedback that we've been getting from our MTSS staff, but also people outside the school. SEL focus has been primary focus for the last few years, so I'll go ahead and let Cody speak on that.
Yeah, so real quick, I do want to back up to Parent Square and just make sure I mention this tonight, that we are really thankful for Kylie here at Mossville, because she has been a huge help with Parent Square and with her coaches and meeting with her teachers. So thank you, Kylie, for that for Parent Square. For SEL, obviously, we continue to work with our students and our staff for SEL. We strive to make sure that our students have those abilities and skill sets to regulate their emotions. And so one of the big things that we focused on this year was using common language. So we looked at using affective statements and questions, and all of our teachers and staff actually have a card that we've created that they wear around with their lanyard with everything else, just to give them resources to utilize when they're having those conversations with students, so that we can all be familiar with what everyone is using with our students. So we're excited for that this year. With our Warrior Boot Camp, we utilize it every year. It was a success once again, making sure that our students come back to school that first week of school, learning all the expectations in every environment, which includes outside and inside, as well as buses. We're utilizing Weekly Warriors again this year to recognize our students. So we have Lions Quest that they have specific focus areas each week, and then our teachers at each grade level will recognize students with those characteristics and skills, and then we announce those in front of all the students during our morning meeting. So far this year with Lions Quest, those focus areas have been community building, shared agreements, collaboration, and working together. And then this week is role responsibilities. Within the community, we are building it with the junior high and elementary. So elementary, we're continuing to do our K-5 meetings every morning, where we go through those expectations, those reminders, and talking about what the SEL focus is for that week to get them started for their day, and then to carry that on throughout the school day. We are utilizing our newsletter also with our parents and community members. So Mr. Sell does a great job sending that out. We try to showcase everything that's been going on for the week, including that SEL focus and how we are growing here at Mossville. And then for the junior high, we have our 6-8 announcements that Mr. Sell records daily and continues to showcase for the junior high to be part of the community as well, because they don't sit in with our morning meeting. This year, we probably have more than what we had last year, but we're utilizing lunch groups. So we're really working with our students, our counselors, and often our administration. We are sitting in on those lunch groups, just meeting with students, honing in on different areas that we need to focus on, not only with part of the MTSS process, but really trying to make sure that all of our students can be as successful as possible. And then last but not least is just increased implementation of restorative practices. Mr. Sell and I met this summer and really kind of aligned the resources we had by creating binders of things that we can align how we're working with our students, making sure that behavior, discipline, consequences, and those discussions match what each other are doing. And so that's the SEL side of things.
I won't basically go through the attendance plan. You have it in your hands that if you'd like to go through it. But we are looking to do a better job documenting. We were having all the conversations, we're using our resources, but that's what we found is the documentation was not where it needed to be. So this year we're having a heavy focus on making sure all the interventions that we're putting in place to get kids in school, that we are documenting what we're doing as we work through that process. So that's been a big thing this year that we are working on. Focus on the relationships with families. We do have a number of families where they are those repeat individuals when it comes to attendance, making sure they have the resources, whether it's from the school or within the community, so that they are getting the kids here, utilizing our school resource officers to do home visits, wellness checks for kids that we haven't seen for multiple days. And they're doing a great job helping us out and are very responsive whenever we call and need them to do that for us. One area that was our strategic plan goal last year that we did have a setback on was implementing our new junior high courses. We were going to bring in a STEM program. We had it all aligned. And then unfortunately, our staff member that was helping spearhead that and really had the knowledge base to do it effectively and properly, he chose to go to another school. And so that set us back to where we are trying to rework what that class program will look like and utilizing those resources that we have here at Mossville. So it's a year behind where we wanted to be. We were hoping to have it this year, but it is still in the forefront of our minds and how we're going to get that in the building for our students. Any questions you have for either Dr. Pulliam or myself?
I will just add to that class, unfortunately not being able to do it, we are finding ways to utilize the materials and equipment so that it's not a waste this year. So we have like our art club looking to utilize a lot of that and some other teachers who are looking to incorporate ways to bring it into their classrooms.
Way back when, after COVID, I asked you, what were some of your challenges? And you talked about kids and how they were getting along and so on. And so I'm curious, have you seen, I'm sure you've seen improvement, great improvement. But how would you describe children getting along? Are we almost back to where kids should be kids? And
yeah, and I think they were always kids. I think it was more that the setbacks maturity wise. So I would say, honestly, our 7th and 8th grade boys especially, we think they're more like 5th and 6th grade boys the way they act. They're just not quite where they're supposed to be maturity wise where we'd expect them. So that's where we're seeing it. I think this year in the classroom especially, we are seeing what we saw prior to COVID. I think the teachers and staff have worked really hard to reestablish the expectations and culture of our school, the importance of learning, and our kids are buying into that and doing a great job with our teachers. So I do think we're where we want to be. At this point, always want to be better, but I think we're on the right path.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
I do want to recognize Mr. Sell and Dr. Pulliam. We had an incident over the weekend where through TikTok, a gentleman in Kentucky basically saw what appeared to be a threat pertaining to Mossville School. Not anyone that just happened to be, as those algorithms work, he saw it. Mr. Sell, I know Dr. Pulliam both spent most of Sunday, along with Officer Hesterberg, dealing with, really went kind of from dealing with TikTok to dealing with MediaCom to dealing with service providers, just trying to identify, unfortunately, the students who were involved with, I think, a prank that became a threat. But they really took it certainly as seriously as they possibly could. Got the state police, they ended up being involved, and it's not something that anyone wants to spend their weekend doing, but they handled it very well. to the point we were, once you kind of have that involvement with the state police and Peoria County, we obviously take a backseat in investigations and things. And I think, unfortunately, some of our parents felt we waited too long to share the information, but we were waiting until we were given the okay to do so because we knew it was going to be out there in the community that something was going on. So they did a great job. Mr. Buzzard obviously involved with that too. So I just want to tell them thank you and appreciate their work. And sometimes it's people forget and don't realize what happens and what our administrators are involved with all the time. And we are on call 24/7. This Sunday, this time that it happened. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking care of it. Take care of your kids. So, kind of the next one, just information items. I did just share the usage information for counselor. And the report shows kind of July 1 to August 31st, but really, if you remember, we didn't get it until really the last week of July. So it really just is, in my opinion, kind of August. But you kind of see that we've had faculty members that are creating accounts in those sessions, that are booking them and taking those sessions. And so to me, you look at the number that we've had, the high school really alone, that we've had 9 sessions, that will go up to 8 of those students attended. I think that's a real positive that our students have that outlet. We don't know, other than you can tell you, obviously it's been outside of those traditional business hours. So to me, those are services that our students are asking for when they don't have access to our school staff. So to me, I think it's a great service to offer, and hopefully it's helping our kids and our staff. So kind of share those as we get them, just especially this first year, to kind of see how much utilization we're getting. But I do appreciate all of you supporting that and providing another positive service for our students and staff. Superintendent's report. I do not have anything. You have anything this evening, Mr. Buzzard?
Yeah, the only other thing I had to add was the wheelchair lift at the high school for the gym floor is scheduled to start that process the Monday or Tuesday after homecoming week. So that's September 29th, 30th. We didn't feel like homecoming week was the best time to be dealing with stairwells going down into the gym, but I'm very happy to say we're going to have accessibility to the gym floor in the very near future. First time since that building's been built. So,
Yes.
Good deal.
That is all I
That's
have.
it. All right. Thanks, gentlemen. Moving on, consent agenda, minutes of the August 26, 25 school board meeting closed session, and minutes of the August 26, 2025 school board meeting regular session. If I can have a motion, please. Second. Any discussions, questions regarding this? Nope, hearing none. Matt, will you take the roll, please?
Frank Becker.
Aye.
Michael Bennett.
Aye.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Mike Rich.
Aye.
Aye. Jennifer Kraus.
Aye.
Thanks, Matt. We'll move on to action items. First one, consider approval of the following recommended revised board policies as presented. If I can have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussions, questions, information?
And almost all of these are just a 5-year review. And I think that what happened was that last group that we did 2 months ago was so large that I think they just didn't want to put this on there. So these are really just to update the dates so that they've been reviewed as part of that 5-year cycle.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing none. Matt, check roll, please.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Jennifer Kraus.
Aye.
Frank Becker.
Aye.
Michael Bennett.
Aye.
Mike Rich.
Aye. Thank you. Next up, personnel report.
Pretty short report this evening. 2 resignations. Chad McDowell, head volleyball coach at Mossville Junior High School, effective August 28th, 2025. Tina Nestor, assistant volleyball coach at Mossville Junior High, effective August 28th, 2025. And one notice of retirement, Angie Doro, vocal music director at IBC High School, effective at the end of the 28-29 school.
I'll move we approve the personnel report. Can I have a second, please? Any discussions, comments?
Volleyball is December-ish, is that right, when they get started?
December 8th is the first tryout.
Doesn't seem like there'll be a sport in Mossville without Coach McDowell out there, so it'll be an interesting season without him there. But definitely want to shout out to both him and Ms. Nestor for their support of all the programs, Mossville Heights. So it's always good to see him, and the kids always love him. So I'm sure we'll have somebody step up and step in. So it's great. But wishing Mr. Earl a happy retirement in a couple of years. 4. Got a few.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, hearing none, Matt, will you take the roll, please?
Sure. Mike Birch.
Aye.
Aye. Brent Cranford.
Aye.
Jennifer Kraus.
Aye.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Thank you. Next up, other items? Nothing?
I got put in charge of the bonfire for homecoming, so
Oh,
if
wow.
anybody would love to help me on the 25th,
You step forward or they all step
I
back?
was voluntold.
Okay.
So still trying to get that, even though I'm busy. But, and talking about it, I think we're the only ones still in this whole area that does bonfire. So, but kids love it, so we're excited.
Build it, they will come.
It's because it's done so safely. And
It is done
appropriately,
safely,
you know.
yes.
Yeah, that's so traditional.
Yes, tradition.
It has been.
If you're not doing anything Thursday morning, come on out. I haven't seen high school 7 a.m. and start loading.
Excellent. All right. Nothing else there. Second chance for public input on non-agenda items. Hearing none, you will adjourn this meeting. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, September 23rd at the South Elementary High School. No.
I would have known for sure.
That's good. I didn't email.